Not a single member of the Biden regime would dare to go to this portion of Ohio and breathe in the air because they know it's dangerous. They know that it is actively poisoning the citizens of Eastern Ohio. So why is it that they kind of shrug their shoulders and they say, yeah, okay, whatever? It's very simple. It's because the war on white people continues.
Oh, that's what it is. I almost forgot. It was the war on white people that's going on in the country, spearheaded by the Biden administration, apparently. So let's let him continue to talk about how black folks get treated so much better in this country and in their communities than white folks, because that makes sense. Let him go.
Why would you care for the white working class voters in Eastern Ohio? You haven't cared about them in other reasons or other portions, and I will prove it to you. If this train derailment happened in downtown Atlanta, in the densely populated black neighborhoods, this would be the #1 news story. It would be Flint water crisis 2.0. There would be clamoring and activism and talks for reparations.
So another big lie about, if this happens in black neighborhoods, then we would rush to their defense. Is that how it would work, Charlie? I was about to call him Tucker, because there's a concerted effort to come with this line of BS. Tucker Carlson went on it too. Watch.
East Palestine is overwhelmingly white and it's politically conservative. More than 70% of the voters in the surrounding county supported Donald Trump in the last election. That shouldn't be relevant, but as you're about to hear, it very much is.
Oh, that's the problem. That overwhelmingly white part of town is what the reason is, and the targeting behind it. There's all kinds of history to that as well, especially since we won't teach what our history is in the kind of communities that are targeted with systematic racism. It doesn't matter. Let's just cover it up and act like there's a whole different reality. It angers enough rabidly vicious white folks that they might go out and start killing the folks that are getting all this preferential treatment when it's a country that they deserve to receive preferential treatment in. It's like they've warped their entire minds. Still, the blames continue to go around, Sharon, but they'll still say, it's this American problem of constantly handing things out to black folks, taking them from good, hardworking white folks and handing it to these no good, you-know-whats.
Like the bottled water they're still passing out in Flint. Are those the handouts that they're talking about? Because I believe the Flint water crisis really began more than a decade ago. It just got in the headlines in recent years. Reparations haven't come and they haven't solved the situation. It's built and circulating on a lie constantly with these people. And you have Americans who have no experience outside of their front porch, okay, who actually consume this, a steady diet of it. They beg for more, and then they regurgitate it as if it's true. They actually believe it. They believe it enough to show up on January 6th wearing all kinds of bear skin and spraying things and painting themselves and actually believing that it's all true. They believe the lie because they can. The rest of us have to live, we're forced to live in reality.
Here's a little bit more reality. I'm glad you said that, Sharon, because you mentioned Flint. I remember another water crisis that's going on down in Jackson, Mississippi. That highly white populated city down in Mississippi. This is as of beginning of this year. Jackson, Mississippi's water crisis persists as a national attention and help fade away from it. As people stop talking about it, so does anyone else that's part of this entire problem. Matter of fact, let's watch a little bit of that problem that persists, that Charlie Kirk said is rushed and attention is always taken. Does that make sense for his proved point right there? Watch this.
Today we learned from the reporting of the Mississippi Free Press, a nonprofit media outlet, that the water plant has had critical staffing shortages. And according to the EPA, there's no evidence the city even tried to fill the positions. In 2015, inspectors found lead in Jackson water. And in February of last year, an ice storm left tens of thousands of Jacksonians with no water for a month in the middle of the pandemic. Now, water system failure. The schools are closed, virtual learning only. Many restaurants and stores shuttered, offices empty, families scrambling.
The lack of water was due to a lack of pressure in the system.
The water is not safe to drink, and I would even say it's not safe to brush your teeth with.
Today, the governor declaring a new state of emergency, announcing a total or near total loss of water pressure throughout the city and surrounding areas.
They really jumped to the defense of those black folks, and it continues, I guess, to this day. They live such glorious lives in this land of the free.